my face. Beautiful. He's getting fun, fancy.
We're back in the apartment, everybody.
Wait a second. Let me say it.
Yeah, do it tweetly. We were just out and about on the town, and now we're hot as balls.
That sweaty pit, sweaty balls, sweaty ass cracks.
Whoa.
Every crevice.
And fanny.
Not a good sitch.
Very much sweat. The number of sweats, all of them. Might want to remove the on the phone with Alec.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, you're looking at the... Don't worry about it. I got it.
Jesus.
I got it figured out.
Jesus.
Kyle, is that your lucha that we bought the other time?
Yeah.
Did I tell you about when I brought that home?
No.
Like, I was so certain that my wife would like it. I brought it back and she was like, what is this? Who made it? Why does it look so shitty?
Why does this exist? Look at this thing's hands. This was 200 yen.
Dude, $2?
That's some classic...
Mine doesn't have a cape.
Oh, look at my pit sweats.
That's why I wore a super
Some
dark
quality
shirt
classic.
today.
That's why I wore black.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some coffee.
All right.
You guys should lean into your mics. Except for when you cough.
I'm bumping it closer to this.
How many people do we have on right now?
7.
7, really?
I don't know. I just said that number.
I got UCC.
Yeah, UCC, babe. Oh, shit.
It's a proper Evangelion coffee.
Is that what they drink in Evangelion?
Yeah, there was like a promotional thing. Like when the Japanese grocery store in Indianapolis opened, when we were in like high school, right? One World Market.
A good while ago.
Yeah. Me and Alec would always go there, and Zach too, and get UCC coffee. At least Alec would. I feel like really good Evangelion shit.
Yeah.
Now we're just doing a UCC ad while I try to see the chat.
Stronger.
Oops.
Cal. It's time for show and tell with Cal.
Oh, yeah.
We got a special. So Cal's a beautiful. Oh, maybe everybody knows already.
Actually, I guess you don't have to get that close because my mic is crappier than yours.
I'm gonna sit right here.
That's perfect.
I feel good.
You sound wonderful.
I feel
You sound
very
okay?
You sound great.
Awesome. Not as awesome as we thought.
good.
Hello.
Excuse me.
How do we sound, people?
Tell us. Can you see the comments? I can't see the comments.
Nobody's
How many dang people
Are looking at us.
I want to know how many dang people.
Dude, 90 viewers.
What? Are you serious?
Are you guys up there right now?
Oops.
Oops. We're hanging out,
We're having a good time.
and Cal's about to show you baby pictures.
Yeah.
So Cal's a really cool guy, and he made a beautiful thing.
Oh, I turned 3 months yesterday.
Ooh,
3 months, baby Gene.
Love that boy.
Yeah.
my favorite boy.
So we've been making passport pictures because we're going to be going back to the U.S. in December. I start that passport shit early. We took loads of different pictures and probably printed off like 40 different ones. So then we cut a bunch of them out on like photo paper. And now we put 2 double-sided tape on the back of a bunch of the pictures. And we have Gene stickers.
That's cool.
This is the special one for Sam's birthday.
Because you had an extra passport.
Sam's special
What's
birthday
this guy?
present.
This is Cal's brand new newborn baby. Looks just
Yep.
a little bit more hair.
Beard and all.
What are you going to stick these to?
I don't know. That's up to you guys.
Look at Cal's adorable, chubby little guy.
Tiny man.
Who wouldn't want a sticker?
I'd
Little
want a
Gene
sticker.
boy.
G-boy.
There's a couple of different ones here too.
G-boy.
I need some dang coffee, y'all.
I don't care about anything.
What time is it?
11:16.
God, is that it?
We're over 2 hours into this mess.
Only like 17 left.
It won't be quite that much.
If we're gonna do it until 2 in the morning,
Maybe. Maybe we'll get sleepy and go to bed.
maybe
Just
maybe we're already sleepy.
You can just watch these guys sleep.
Sleep, mate.
All right. I'm going to look at what we had planned. What should we be doing right now according to
Podcast
our
recording.
schedule?
We're supposed to be recording a podcast, the 3 of us.
Which sticker do you guys want?
Dude,
You can both have one Gene sticker.
we can't have the special birthday sticker though, right?
That one's for Sam.
I'm feeling the one on the left.
This one?
He's looking super adorable
All
there.
right.
It's adorbs.
That's your Gene sticker.
I'll get the just
I'm very
straight
excited.
face. It's
Awesome.
classic.
There's double-sided tape on the back. You can stick that wherever you want.
What I'm gonna do is find something that's round, so his face will form the little like flower.
Yes.
This is the best gift I've ever been given.
I'm just gonna go home.
We sprayed some mommy milk on them too, so they actually smell like baby.
Rabies.
So is it already podcast recording time for reals?
I'm pretty sure that the plan after talk to Alec and then go meet Cal and eat in the park and explore was podcast time.
Oh, so you're actually doing like a full podcast?
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
be doing a few of those.
Like
today.
3 today.
Ooh. Other guests are coming too, right?
Yep.
My mom says she hoped that your baby has more hair than you.
Right now, I think if you include like an entire body,
Yes.
my entire body, I'm ahead of Gene by miles, but he should be ahead of the game because Chica's got super thick hair.
Okay. According to the schedule, we should have already started recording a podcast episode.
Yep.
We're like 20 minutes behind schedule.
This is bad.
We're fucked.
We are screwed. I'm going home.
I'm done.
I'm done. Turn it off.
This whole podcast is over.
We're just going to sleep.
Poodles got screwed.
Screws got pooed. Cool.
Alright, what I need to do is actually record on Audacity. So give me a sec.
No,
Do something entertaining for once.
that's not gonna happen.
You would tickle pits?
I'm setting up a podcast session right
Gosh,
now,
that's a
so
hot
give us
pit.
a moment.
Oh, you gotta. It's kind of cold.
Kind of cold.
Kind of cold and
Look at the air
sweaty.
conditioning cranked in here. Dude, my pits are way wetter than yours.
That's because I've got nice American deodorant that I bought
Me too.
specifically.
I read something online recently though that said that you should put deodorant on at night
Why?
and then sleep in it, and it seeps into your pores that way.
What?
I actually don't have that much trouble. It's more my back sweats a lot.
I got back sweat.
Back sweat.
There was one time last year in the summer in class, we were doing like a really, really active game with like a bunch of kindergartners, and I sat down on my legs like Seiza style and stood up, and I was wearing shorts like a khaki color.
Yep.
And stood up, and like sweat from the back of my legs got like right under my butt area. I turned around, the kids were like, "Cal Sensei's got butt sweat, Cal Sensei."
That's embarrassing.
That's what kids do.
Your kids will call that shit out.
Was a real pretty teacher too.
You're married though, so it's alright.
Yeah.
If it was a good-looking dog, I'd still be embarrassed.
You heard it here, folks. Cal cares about how he looks to dogs.
Dogs are very intuitive.
Dogs are less intuitive than crows.
You're looking right into the camera all the time, Zach.
Zach, your mic is super loud for some reason. Keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking. It's probably because I'm a loud person.
I've never actually held a selfie stick.
Well,
I put my phone in it and try.
we did it for like 30 seconds, and we're like, this feels dumb. I don't want to do it. So
You gotta hook up a cord, right?
you gotta know. That's it.
You just do it like this. How do you take the picture?
It's not one that you can take a picture with. I don't think.
Oh, so you just
had to
turn
buy
it
a more
on?
expensive one. Yeah. It's for podcasting. It's for broadcasting. It's for broadcasting.
Me. Man, getting the levels right is a
Real
pain,
challenge.
a real challenge.
You're a real challenge. What?
Wow.
Sounds good. Do
Thanks.
we still have 90 people?
I think that was a lie.
I think that was the total on Twitter for the whole first stream, which is still impressive.
90?
Yeah.
Thank you, 90 people.
Thank you, 90 people. All right, well, we are officially in an episode of Tokyo Splosion now.
I was just like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where'd my phone go?
Cal's messing around with the selfie stick and forgot his phone was on it.
That's cool. That's what when I'm out and I'm on the trains in Japan, and I scan my thing on my wallet, but I don't put it back in my pocket, and I'm walking, and then I'm like,
Like
I'm
your
like,
Suica?
I guess
It's
I
in
don't
my-
need
yeah.
to totally
Yeah.
advertise UCC.
My Monica, you idiot. Because I'm from
Monica?
Nagoya.
Monaca is that ice cream thing.
That's Monaca.
All right, if we're gonna
What
make
did I say?
any sense out
Monica.
of this nonsense, what does any of what you're saying make it?
So
mean?
Suica, so in Japan, in the train system, they have little IC cards that you can charge, and then you use it to ride the trains. So you don't have to buy a paper ticket every time, and it's very useful.
It's got like a little chip in it. Keeps track of like how much money you put on, how much you've taken off. You can use it at convenience and stuff like that.
And Tokyo has Passmo and Suica are the two kinds. But in Nagoya, where I live, they have Monaca.
It's like an ice cream bar with a chip
Monaca
in
is
it.
the ice cream bar. Monaca is the... Get it right, Cal. But in Hokkaido, it's Kitaka. Kita for north. Because it's way up north.
But they all work basically the same
It's
in
exact-
that area, right?
Well, it used to be that you couldn't use them outside of the area they were printed in. You had to like use Monaca only in like the Chubu area, and then Kitaka was only Hokkaido, but they changed it so you can use it anywhere you want to.
I guess I figured it would be more like, what, nationalized? More generalized? You could just like use the one card wherever.
More standardized.
Standardized.
Yeah, well, Japan loves that regional limited stuff.
But if they're becoming intercompatible, then that's cool.
Yeah.
That works.
It's great. I use my Monaca here.
Like I get like regional foods, and like if this konbini in like Nagoya wants to do like a misokatsu thing, that's super cool. But I can't imagine being from Hokkaido and going to Okinawa and be like, I have to put on like a 500 yen deposit on a whole new card.
That was how you had to used to do it. That was like traveling. You would just buy the tickets instead of getting a whole new card.
Yeah.
Although I mean, if you travel a lot, it would be a cool souvenir and a way to if you don't lose it.
Yeah, that's true.
I kept the very first Passimo. I got one. I came to Japan like 8 years ago.
I didn't have one until I moved to Saitama like 5 years ago. My whole like 8 months in Hokkaido, I just bought tickets every time.
Probably because you weren't actually out and about that much.
Right. It was just like weekends, pretty much.
Yeah,
I just buy the kid tickets too.
you're a bad person.
You can do that?
Yeah, they don't check.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, are you a boy? Are you a young boy? They don't ask you that.
No. Just buy the kids ticket. It's like half as much. So if it's like 300 yen to get into Susukino.
Pretty shitty to do, but I guess if you're a student or like a backpacker, you can get away with
Just
it, right?
like shitty college kid. Yeah.
Yeah, shitty college kid.
Yeah.
I had a French friend who didn't even pay for train tickets in Tokyo. He would just hop the gates.
I've heard of that. That makes. I mean,
It's a really good way to get arrested and deported.
Yeah.
I've also heard of like people in rural areas doing it.
I remember in Hokkaido, our friend Kaname, his nearest station had no people at it at all. You could literally just like walk on and off if you wanted to.
Aino Sato?
Yeah. No, it was the one. It was the one. Aino Sato was the one that you usually got off on, but there was one more station that was kind of like the opposite direction from his house.
Oh.
And that place it was a no people station.
Mujin Eki?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of those though. Like I go to a couple of those on Fridays.
Nice. People looking at us on BrewTube?
Nobody's on BeerTube.
No lookers?
I can't see the number.
You gotta go to the left a bit.
That's how the screen's set up.
Just full screen, you can go back and forth. You gotta go down a bit.
Would you like one more lens on your glasses, Zach?
This looks really good. I can see so much better now.
How about the other eye?
Okay.
Oh, no, that's no good.
No, oh, sorry.
Right now it's 2 people
Good,
watching
okay.
on YouTube. Hi, 2 people.
Hello, two people.
Hey, two.
Hey. If you comment, we'll respond to you and say a nice thing for you.
And 3 viewers on Twitter.
Very cool.
Hi, Twitter.
Hello, Tweedlow.
Hello, Tweedlow. Don't know about Twitch? Not looking at you, Twitch.
The
Sorry,
Twibblers.
Twitch.
Twibblers.
Twibblers.
Twibbles.
I want to talk to Cal about what it's like to have a beautiful young baby child.
Ooh.
In Japan.
We've talked to you a bit before about how hard it was to get Prego.
Prego, yeah.
And then the Prego happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then the baby happened.
Yeah.
And now he's a human.
I was always a human.
You're always a human. The baby is now full human.
Gene, the baby. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that newborn stage where the eyes aren't really open, and it's like, are you a real person? But now he's a real-ass person.
He's seeing now. Like,
Seeing?
like when he wakes up in the morning, you kind of hear him going like, and you go in and get like right up in his face, and you're like, Gene. He like open his eyes, go, kind of like that.
And it's like, oh, it's that person that I see all the time that does things for me.
Dude.
Yo, you're close.
I feel for Gene. Once I was sleeping here on this sofa, and I opened my eyes, and Yuki's face was right here in front of my face, just staring at me, and I flipped out, just like, And I could see in her face just like, wow, was not expecting that.
That was a reaction.
Cool.
So
Very
I feel
cool.
for you, Gene. It's spooky. Don't stare
Very
at your
scary.
babies when they're sleeping.
He had his final ear check on Tuesday.
Ooh.
No, he had it last week. We got the results on Monday.
Ooh.
Tuesday.
What'd
Results
you
on
find
Tuesday. We had known for a while that like one ear was totally okay, but like every time he tried to do the test for the other ear, he'd like fall asleep and that just like disrupts the test. Or sometimes he'd finish it and it'd be like just barely below passing. So we are kind of worried that one ear wasn't at like full capacity. But the results came back like 100% both ears.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Little Gene.
Jane can hear 100%.
So when we
That's
say,
a good baby.
so when we,
That's a good baby.
so
Solid baby.
so when we go to the house and we talk about burpee doopies and stuff like that, he'll be able to hear
He'll
us.
get it in
Yeah.
full stereo.
Yes.
Droopy doopy. Ooh.
Love that word.
Love that word.
Uncle Zach's broopy doopy.
I just think it's funny how in high school I'd talk about how you're gonna be the coolest uncle ever, but now I'm the coolest uncle ever.
And I'm an okay dad.
Only okay. Very cool.
Another thing I wanted to confront you about.
Oh.
Because let's enter into a Cal's final say segment of the podcast.
Oh boy, yeah.
Because Alec and I talk about Cal so much. I feel like Alec brings you up like every episode.
I took a couple of notes. Let me see if they're still here.
And there are a lot of things that I feel like you deserve a chance to defend yourself on. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you about what you said about my taste in music.
Ooh.
What did I say about your taste in music?
You said I was wallowing.
Oh, wallowing in disco's runoff or something like that. It's like all of the Japanese, what do you call it, new wave,
Yeah, like the city pop stuff.
city pop stuff.
It's because that stuff is
Like,
awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's got like dimmed down disco beats,
Yeah.
and it's great.
So it's disco's runoff.
Disco's runoff.
I guess I can see your argument there. What about the old stuff though? That's just like straight up disco from the day.
Oh, that's dope.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like both of it. I thought it was just like it was complimenting you through an insult.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wallowing and careful with your feet there. Whoever's rubbing the table.
That ain't me.
I think I was doing a little rubbing.
Oh.
Now, Alec made some claims about you
Oh God.
when during the River Wine episode
Mm-hmm.
that he took you to Futako Tamagawa
Mm-hmm.
and you seduced him into going into the river
Mm-hmm.
and then you pooped.
I did.
True or false?
I did poo in the river. I did.
I don't have a soundboard, but
Everybody was upstream. It's a big river.
everybody in the whole world was
The
upstream.
entire,
Everybody-
however many billions of people are in the world, were all upstream of that river at that one moment in time. You found the perfect second.
I don't know if I agree with your police work there, Cal.
Seems a little sketchy.
I did a quick glance around and didn't see anybody downstream from me.
All right.
That was good enough.
You did your due diligence.
My,
Nobody in
my,
iShot.
my
You did your
duty
due
diligence. My
diligence.
duty diligence.
Yeah. God, I'm glad that we had
Why
that
not-
one
why not
together.
due diligence.
Duty diligence is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds better to me.
Yeah.
Duty diligence. It's all good though.
Nice.
So true, you are a river pooper, confirmed.
Did poo in the river.
That's your new name, Cal the River Pooper.
The river poo.
What's some stuff that you felt like you didn't get a fair shake at on the podcast?
I'd like to listen to it again. When Alec described me and Chica going to the movies, I think like the first movie that we ever went to go see, we were still dating. It was really close to like when we had started. So I sat through all the credits, and it was just hell.
The ending credits, right?
The ending credits, yeah. No, I usually sit through the beginning credits and then just leave.
That's the, I mean, let's be honest here. Why would you pay that money to just sit there
Right?
if you could pay your money and then go do something else?
Save time.
Yeah, man.
See the movie and do something else.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
But to my memory, I wish I had come prepared. Listening to what Alec had said one more time, But I think the first time I sat through the ending credits, we had just started dating. I didn't want to seem like a dick. But the next time we went to go see a movie, I think it might have been The Tale of Princess Kaguya, the Ghibli movie.
Mm.
And when we got to the ending credits, I was like, we should just go. Let's just leave. Let's go. She was like, no, we're staying.
You were still dating at this time?
Yeah, it was like 2014, I guess. I was like, no, we'll go. Let's go. And she was like, fine, we'll leave.
Yeah.
And it ended up being kind of a big fight. And we had like a big discussion about it afterwards. Like, way bigger than you would ever expect it to be. Because it's just like, why would you sit through the credits?
What was her reasoning for why it's so important to sit through the credits?
She said that sitting through the credits, like you finish watching the movie, you sit there and you think about the movie you saw while you're watching the credits, then you leave.
So she was mad at you for trying to disrupt her time of processing the movie?
I don't even know what she was doing.
She was meditating on the movie.
Thinking over the movie.
We can walk and talk about the movie. Why am I going to sit in this like dark place for like an extra like 5-10 minutes and watch all these people's names?
I don't know if everybody has seen a movie in Japan. This is one of those things, another one of Cal's favorite parts of the podcast, for those of you who didn't know. Remember?
Where?
You said you laugh every time we say, for those of you that don't know.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't know.
Just so you know about Japan.
Just so you know.
I think Alex way more guilty of it.
Maybe, but I notice myself saying it a lot too.
I mean, I have a tendency to do that whenever I'm doing a thing with you as well.
I think we all probably say it
Yeah,
a
if
lot
you
more
don't
than we
know.
think we do.
Yeah. But if you don't know, people in Japan stay during the end credits until they're all done in the movie theater. And
Generally.
you can hear foreigners in the theater kind of whispering to themselves, like, what are we doing? Why are people still here?
Or like when we go to see a movie, like it's just decided.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, it's time, right? Okay, let's go.
Let's just go, yeah.
I personally like to sit through the credits just because I'm a completist. Like, even if I haven't, like as an example, even if I have an album that I bought and I have like a song I hate on it, I'll still listen to that song because I want to hear the entire album from beginning to end. That's just kind of the dude I am.
Yeah.
On top of, there might be something special after those credits that you'll miss if you don't stay there.
Like the Avengers thing,
Yeah.
they're never good.
It doesn't matter if they're good or not. They exist and you have to watch them.
Yeah, if you're going to watch the movie, you have to watch it all, damn it.
That's kind of how I work, yeah.
Is that maybe the same reason why it's so common in Japan for people to stay?
Like that Marvel effect?
Just like the credits are here, so we have to watch them to be able to say we watched the whole thing.
I don't
That is
know.
not as good of an excuse as what Chica said, though. Because I think it may, now I'm not.
Is
so-
all of Japan just like, we really have to process every single... Paddington 2, there's so much to just take in. The credits.
I
bear on the twain.
whether
Paddington
it's
2 is great, by the way.
whether
Yeah.
it's necessary or not, I understand and respect the idea of wanting to be able to sit and kind of let it seep in and take some time, and then like, okay, now I can go. I think that makes sense to me.
I understand it, like, completely, but I feel like in a relationship, like an international relationship like this, especially me and like a Kyle or like a you living in Japan, I feel like I already give up enough. That like, just let me walk out after the movie is over, please. I'm never gonna like read any of these people's names. I would just want to talk about the movie and walk around afterwards. I don't want to sit.
I hear you. That makes sense too.
But your film teacher,
Yeah. Yeah, I took film classes, and you had to stay and finish when we did screenings in class. And he was like, yeah, you need to see all the names it took to make this movie possible.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much every film class I took was that way. If you left, then the teacher would be like, you better have something important you're going to. And make people like justify why they had to leave early.
and I think, like, if I'm remembering it correctly, in the podcast, you said that teacher justified it being like, one day when you make a movie, do you want everybody to walk out when your name's on the screen?
I don't think they played it up quite that much, but yeah, I mean, they would say, if you're lucky one day, maybe your name will be on this, so just take in how many names it takes to make something like this.
I understand the idea of wanting to drive into people's head. Like, every single one of these people is an individual who put their heart and soul into like their role in creating this film, and that makes a ton of sense. But the
Credit
fact of
should
it is,
absolutely
you can
be there.
appreciate the work someone does without sitting through a list of names.
Yeah.
Yep.
I almost might like it if on like Wikipedia, when it gave how long the movie was, if they separated the actual movie from the credits. Said like an hour and 35 movie.
If only there
credits.
was an internet movie database of all the people who worked on every movie.
Yeah.
Be the Tokyo Splosion one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You might be onto something.
Capitalize on that idea.
Write it down.
Get our pen and paper out here, make a note. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I think the closest we got to paper here is a coaster. There's definitely no pens.
I have my tablet.
You can just write on your tablet with a marker.
Internet movie database. My idea.
Write that on your case, man. You'll have
Trademark,
a real cool,
copyright,
case.
2018 Kyle Broyles. Do not touch.
All right, that's enough movie talk.
Movie talk.
What else does Cal have to defend himself on?
All right, Cal. This is your only chance.
Nothing I can think about right now.
What about that bar fight you were almost involved
the bar fight. God, yeah. Like we were outside on the deck. There was a bunch of Canadians, and me and Alec and our Canadian friend Alex, and like everybody was smoking. They had their drinks, and the ashtray was right in the middle of the table.
Thanks, Dad, for the comment. We got a comment on our
Oh.
YouTube.
Y'all look like pros.
Zach
Nice.
said y'all look like pros. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
Mr. Saxton, yeah.
Thank you.
The ashtray was right in the middle of the table with everybody's drinks around it. But like Alec and I think Alex and I were all like making sure our cigarettes were nice and put out.
Mm.
There was no smoke and everything like that. But all these Canadians were just like,
Wait. You're going to say how you were making sure it was put out, right?
you go.
No,
like,
but you were spitting in the ashtrays. That's a very important detail.
I'm getting to that detail.
Okay.
I'm getting to that detail.
Let him tell his story,
All
Kyle.
right. Stepping off.
These Canadian guys and like whoever they were with, they were just like throwing their cigarette butts into the ashtray and not putting them out. And I've seen people like pour beer into ashtrays.
Yeah.
Like get some liquid in there, but it's like you're paying like $12 for a pint.
So they're flicking their cigarettes into the ashtray, but they're just still lit.
Yeah, they're still lit, just like smoking all over the place for minutes afterwards. So every once in a while, like I'd spit in the ashtray.
To put out their cigarettes.
Yeah, and it was literally.
That's an important detail.
And it like looking back, it was dumb because I'm leaning over like 8 people's drinks and spitting in the middle of them into an ashtray.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was dumb, but
Yeah.
this dude, he like pushed me, and our friend Alex, he just like throw down. He's like, "What are you doing? Get off my friend!"
Sounds dumb.
Did they actually
dumb.
fight? Or just
No.
kind of like a little scuffle and people...
I mean, like that's exactly where it ended.
God, why do
So-
people get so angry?
Fighting? Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were spitting on other people's cigarettes that they didn't put out, that makes a lot more sense. I was picturing you just like
Why
your
would-
own cigarettes and just spitting and like rubbing it in and spit. And it's like, you know what? They were probably right to make out.
you just spit it and you rub this thing. You're just like, oh yeah.
oh, that slimy spit.
So on that
But
one,
like, why would you spit in somebody's drink when there's like 8 people around you?
you wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I think they just were grossed out by it, and they're the type of people that
I mean, it's gross.
are just physical and easily upset.
I
So in
never-
other words, Canadian, right, guys?
Oh man, Canada sucks. No, actually, I love Canada. I'm
Canada.
going to Toronto to hang out in December with a friend of mine. It's gonna be really badass.
It was a dumb joke. We love Canada.
Thank you,
Everybody's
Canada, for being at Canada. But
Canada's fine.
great.
Canada's fine.
I talk about this. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
Zach?
talk about this all the time. I don't understand why people get angry.
I can't imagine getting that riled up about much. I mean, like, I think if somebody tried to hurt, like, seriously hurt a friend,
Yeah, or like.
or like a
People got
baby or something
people
like
got
that.
shit going on, man. People are complicated. Maybe they grew up in an atmosphere of
Yeah.
violence.
The
Like
thing
where
is,
somebody's spitting all their drinks.
Maybe they just got fired and they
the thing is, like I yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
yeah.
Like that's absolutely true.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna basically agree with you and be like, I mean, like I say, I don't understand why people get that angry, but at the same time, I'm a pretty laid back dude, and I make a point to like, I grew up in a very non-conflictual
Yeah.
situation,
Non-conflictual.
non-confrontational
Yeah.
household.
I like non-conflictual.
Good save.
Thank you. And
Non-conflictual.
yeah, and so it was a very low conflict like situation growing up. So I never felt like, oh, I need to like react against this. I was just like, oh, okay, and just kind of that was that.
Yeah.
So it's I get that everybody has a different like upbringing and life, and that like, you know, for people sometimes that's just kind of how they operate, and it makes sense. But at the same time,
All I know is if you're spitting anywhere near me, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking nose.
yeah,
Knock your lights
I'm
out.
gonna knock your lights out.
to the moon,
That's what the honeymooners.
I guess.
I immediately thought of George Lasso's The Moon from It's a Wonderful Life. That's a good one too.
Old movies.
Right up here.
Jerry Lewis.
What?
Sorry.
Doesn't know when to end the bit. If you could call that a bit.
That's my whole like. That's what I do.
Your Japanese comedian persona is just naming people, things, and quotes from old movies and high-fiving people.
Who's Jerry Lewis though?
I was more saying.
You don't know who Jerry Lewis is?
He was a comedian in like
The
like the 50s and 60s, I think.
Nutty Professor, the original
Nutty Professor. Yeah, he was like a slapstick comedian basically. It's pretty funny. It also turns out he was really racist. That
Yeah.
sucks. But it was
He
a
was
funny
funny
guy.
early in his career, and really
then he got
respected,
old and
then he
angry
kinda went
and
off the deep
racist
end.
and-
Yeah.
I just looked him up, and he doesn't seem to be very important.
No, he was really, really.
Seemed to be very important.
I remember loving Jerry Lewis when I was a kid.
So apparently he was a super talented physical comedian,
Mhm.
but he wanted to be respected as a writer as well.
Yeah,
So he started insisting on writing his own movies, and they just became shit.
they were not good.
And then he just kind of slowly lost respect in the comedy community until he was just touring senior centers and telling racist jokes.
And then Eddie Murphy
And then Eddie Murphy came along.
And the Nutty Professor got good.
in his big old fat suit.
Ooh.
So do you feel redeemed, Cal? Do you feel like you've said what you've
I feel
needed
like
to
those
say?
two stories, yeah. I still want to. I want to find out what podcast that was, or maybe go back and listen to all of them. Take like a detailed list, and we can just do like an entire episode.
Just a run through.
Cal gets his redemption.
All the stories probably have the exact same ending point. It's just like the minor details on the way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Those can be important sometimes. I didn't know you were putting out other people's cigarettes, so I learned.
We were all being good boys. It was the Canadians.
I had never heard that story before, so I learned all of it.
Maybe it's time to shift focus to Zach.
Oh God, what?
We haven't talked to Zach since episode 2 on this podcast.
It was episode 2, where I just spent an hour and 40 minutes
Hashing it all out.
talking about my very specifically thought through, like, lay down of how idols work for people who don't get them.
Yeah, and Alec and I would chip in every few minutes, but then it was like, oh no, Zach's got this. Let's just let him roll with it.
Yeah.
But maybe instead of idols, I want to talk to you about some of your journeys around Japan. You take local trains all the time.
I do, yeah. I don't use the bullet train ever because it's so expensive.
I think that might be interesting for people visiting Japan for the first time. They might look at Google Maps or whatever and try to get an idea of how much it costs to move around to different places and just see Shinkansen prices,
Yeah.
which are crazy expensive.
It's so dumb, yeah.
But if somebody's not familiar with Japan, it's their first time in Japan, they can't really speak or read Japanese, do you think local trains like what you do between Nagoya and Tokyo is an option?
I don't know. Because even I, knowing how to get around and, like, having done this thing, God, tens of times, there are times where it's like, all right, I have to, like, get off this train and run and hop over. And even when I know, like, where the platforms are, there's times where I just barely can catch the train. You can actually change settings in the application I have to give you more time to transfer if you want that. But with me leaving at like 5 o'clock on a Friday and getting here at like 11:30 that night, I'm so close to the last train that I want to give myself at least like a half an hour, in case like I miss a train or there's a delay or something. That way I don't end up missing the last train. But if you're leaving in like the morning and you can, I don't know if Google Maps allows it, but if you allow yourself more transfer time, I think it would be doable. You just got to be prepared that you're probably going to get lost or miss a train.
Some of those local trains, if it's a tiny stop, although you probably don't have to transfer at a tiny stop, right?
If you're doing if you're not planning to go to a small local station, it's like Nagoya, Toyohashi, which is a pretty decent sized like city in Aichi that like has a lot of car factories and stuff, and like Hamamatsu, and then Shizuoka, and then Atami, which is a really famous like onsen place, and then Odawara, and then like you're in Tokyo basically. And those are all really big, like easy to transfer at stations.
But if you do happen to get off track and you're going the wrong direction, be mindful, because if you get off at some tiny country stop, the next train might not come for hours sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's better to just keep going until the next big station and reconfiguring from there, maybe.
Yeah, it depends on where you're going, but
I think for me, a lot of the time when I'm in like a completely new area and I don't know the names of anything, it's kind of easy to get overwhelmed, even though like you're looking at your phone and like all the times match up and the platforms match up. You still have like, you just don't feel good about it for some reason. But generally, like even way out in the boonies, like every station, all the signs have Japanese and English for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, like, a lot of the time I think people way out there probably can't speak any English, but they'll still do whatever they can to help you.
At the very least, people working at train stations, like doing a job with trains, are supposed to be able to speak enough English to give directions.
Yeah.
So at the very least, you can rely on the people at the train station, unless, of course, like we were talking about earlier.
Well, there's like it's an unmanned station.
Yeah, and then you're kind of SOL. And those stations especially have a really long time between trains.
Yeah.
So.
I think in my like work week, the longest, like the farthest out that I go, it's actually not that far from Tokyo. It's like around Hashimoto, but there's like 20, 25 minutes in between trains, maybe like 2 or 3 an hour. That can feel really, really long.
Yeah, I don't live in Nagoya. I say Nagoya because it's just easier to say that because it's a city name that people around the world tend to know. But I live in a little town near Mie Prefecture, in Aichi still, but almost in Mie. And when I go back from Osaka, I always come and I go through a station called Yatomi, which is a fairly sizable area to transfer in. But once you get onto the local lines that go to where I live, those trains come like once every half an hour or like 40 minutes. And so, especially in the winter, like I'm out there like on the platform, like out in the cold, waiting and just like sitting there waiting for
And
like
there's
half an hour.
And there's no like waiting room on the platform either.
There isn't, no, not at that station.
Yeah.
So you're just outside in the cold.
There's not a Dotor or a Tully's coffee shop to hang out at the tiny unmanned station.
There's a convenience store that I could stand around in for, however long if I really wanted to.
Read manga.
But it kind of is a thing where it's like, once I get to the convenience store and I buy it, I'm like, well, I got my stuff. And I'm just like, I'll just go. Because you can sit down is the big thing if you get onto the platform. So.
Lots of convenience stores now have those like eat-in areas.
Not at this station. So a lot of them do, though, yeah. Especially, I feel like in bigger cities, they tend to. Out in the country, they don't. There's cafes near there, but they close at like 7 because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But I don't know how Google Maps works for like train times and how reliable it is. The application I use is the Yahoo Norikai app.
Me too.
And that's all in Japanese, so it's not any good if you don't speak Japanese. But that app is awesome.
You use Google Maps, right, Kyle?
Yeah, for the most part. Because if I'm going somewhere really complicated, I'm with my wife, Yuki.
And she just figures it out.
Yeah. So I'm kind of a baby.
Alec,
right.
What does Alec use?
I think he uses
like-
Yahoo. Or no,
He uses some kind of weird,
thing.
like, it's like, it's like an
Hyperdia
in...
or-
Oh, Hyperdia, yeah. He
Yeah.
uses Hyperdia.
It's an in-browser thing, right?
I don't know. They have an app.
Okay.
Hyperdia has an app. Hyperdia is the recommendation I see for English speakers a lot. Because Google Maps is honestly kind of shitty.
Yeah, it does suck. I just use it because it's easy. I don't want to open the browser and...
Download
that
Hyperdia.
stuff.
Give it a shot.
All right.
Well, like,
Because that's the most important thing. If you're going to make a long trip, is the application I have, it has where if you like miss your train or like, oh, I want to spend some more time at this station because I'm like hungry and they have a place to like buy a bento or whatever, you can go in and like change the time on what train you're going to take and be like, okay, I want to take an extra half hour, and they'll just recalculate it all and you're done. Whereas you can't do that with Google Maps. You have to look it all up again.
but
So-
like, when my dad and his wife were here like 3 years ago, they went from Fujisawa, where I live, like in Kanagawa, really close to the
That's
beach.
where I transferred yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. They went from Fujisawa to Tokyo Disney in Chiba. It's like a two and a half hour.
It's at least 2 hours.
Couple of transfers. You're going through the center of Tokyo, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they got there and back in one day with no problem.
Yeah, but I feel like your dad is really good at that kind of stuff too.
Maybe. I mean, like, they can't speak any Japanese, so, I mean, if they got through it well enough, then...
Yeah, I mean, especially in this area. But even, you just have to remember that, like, if you're going to try and do a local train trip from, like, Tokyo to Nagoya or from, like, Nagoya to Osaka, even Nagoya to Osaka, that's like a 4-hour trip. From Tokyo to Nagoya is like a 6.5-hour
I
trip.
didn't realize it was that far.
It's a good length, yeah.
I passed from Osaka on the Shinkansen, and Nagoya seems so close. I was
It's like a half an hour but that's why the Shinkansen is so expensive.
Yeah.
Is because it's zipping along. It's like an airplane on tracks, basically.
I've still never been on one.
Really?
Yeah.
A Shinkansen?
It's cool.
I'd love to.
It's worth doing once just to be like, oh, cool, this is really fast and the scenery looks nice, but it's just so boring.
But
Really?
compared to... That's because you're a weird train nerd. I mean,
Basically, yeah. You're absolutely right. I'm not
local
going to argue.
trains, it takes you like 7 hours to get to Nagoya from here, right?
It takes 7 hours from the town I live in near Mie Prefecture.
And on
yes.
Shinkansen, it's like an hour and a half.
It's like 2 hours if you include from my local station to
So
Nagoya station.
why is the Shinkansen boring when it cuts your time?
Because you're just sitting there. It's so quiet, and then you're just in like a little safe capsule on a chair, and like you don't even feel like the scenery goes by so fast. It doesn't even feel like it's there. You're just watching a video.
So it's more safe. You like the experience of having a long journey.
I like being able to like get off and like have my feet on the ground. Be like, okay, I am in Hamamatsu right now.
Yeah.
It seems like the utility's a bit different. I can imagine having a good time on both.
But somebody with a lot of time to visit Japan and not a lot of money, and you want to adventure, local trains, you'll have a good time. Even if you get lost.
If you want to do that, because the thing about it is if you're going to use an IC card, the like Monaca, Suica, Passmo stuff we were talking about a second ago, you can't do that on a very long trip because even though it's all JR lines, the Japan Rail, which is like the government-owned like train company in Japan, within Tokyo, and then when you get into like Chubu, which is where Nagoya and stuff is, and then if you get into like Kansai, which is where Osaka and all that is, those are all JR lines, but they're run by different companies. And so if you try and go by IC card from Nagoya to Tokyo all in one shot, and you load like 6,000 or 7,000 yen on your card, if you go to try and go through the gate with that, it ends up where it doesn't let you, and you have to go talk to the train station attendant.
And you gotta like recalculate.
And they'll do it. And probably if you're if you don't speak Japanese, you'll be like, I don't know, and you'll give them the card, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, this person came all the way from Nagoya.
Like, whatever, get out of here.
And they're like, all right, here, we'll take it out of your card and give it to you. I go and it's clear I speak Japanese, and they'll be like, just so you know, you're not supposed to be able to do this. We'll do it, and we'll take the money out of your IC card balance, but please buy a ticket next time, is what I get told every time. So the reason I say this is, if for some reason you do buy a ticket and it ends up where like, oh, I missed the train, or like, oh, this area looks cool, I want to hop off and like check out the area around the station. You can't do that if you buy a ticket from Nagoya to like Odawara or something.
Buying
like,
the ticket limits you?
Yeah, well, it can only get you out of the station you put it to. So there's a thing called an 18 youth ticket, the Juhachi Station Kippu, that for a little over 10,000 yen, which is like $100 basically, you get 5 uses of this 18 youth ticket thing. So basically like a little over 2,000 yen per use, and one use lets you ride local JR trains and even some of the ferries that get you out to the islands anywhere you want to all day long for free everywhere once you use that little ticket, and they just stamp it with that day's date, and you just show it to a station attendant and walk in. It's like the
5 uses, 5 days.
5 uses, 1 day per use, and it doesn't have to be all. You can do it like go like on the 1st of the month, and then like again on like the 8th of the month. But this is only in spring, summer, and winter when they have days off, big long breaks off of school. That's why it's the 18 youth ticket. It's because it's really marketed to young people, but anybody can use it.
Get them out like doing stuff.
It's more to help with traffic on the bullet trains and stuff because they get so crowded in those seasons. Helps to lower traffic in those areas. But that's a really great way to travel because you can get it stamped in the morning wherever you're at, and as long as it's JR lines, you can get on and off and hop around and here and all over the place. It's a great way to do it.
What is like the big like tourist train like JR pass? It's like Sanman or Goman.
They have a 7-day, 14-day, and 21-day one, and you have to buy a voucher outside Japan. I want to say recently they made it where you can buy a voucher inside Japan at certain places.
As long as you have like a foreign passport?
Or something like that, yeah. But it used to be you had to buy it outside Japan first and then come here and exchange the voucher for the ticket. And whenever you exchange your voucher, that was when the time that pass worked. And because I got a 21-day pass when I was in Japan in 2011.
Yeah.
And that's how I went and saw you. And that lets you ride bullet trains even.
Does anybody want some hoppy?
I think I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Hoppy pee?
Take a hoppy break.
But yeah. So the Seishun Juhachi Kip, the 18 youth ticket, is similar to that.
Yeah.
But it's only local trains, whereas the JR Pass lets you ride bullet trains as well.
Cool.
So that's something to consider if you don't have a lot of money. The only problem is that you have to be able to go to a JR ticket place and ask for it. But if you go to like a JR Tours office, which they have English speaking staff there, especially if you're in the Tokyo area, they will have English speaking staff. You can be like, hey, I want the 18 youth ticket, and they'll go, oh, 18, here you go. But it's 5 uses, so I mean,
Use them well.
well, that and obviously if you end up with some left over, that's a waste of money. But even getting it and using it like 2 times is way cheaper than going by bullet trains.
And they have some that you have a time limit, but not so much a number of stops limit, right?
Really?
Joey.
Oh, Joey.
Ooh.
This is hoppy.
Hoppy's good.
Is it alcohol?
It's
No.
non-alcohol. You don't know what hoppy is?
I don't like hops.
Dude, it's not hoppy at all. That's the name of the drink.
Try it.
It's like a non-alcoholic beer kind of drink.
It's my first hoppy. I'm gonna drink it like a real boy.
What they usually do in the bars, if you get a hoppy, they bring you a bottle of this and a glass of shochu and ice.
Yeah.
And you pour as much hoppy as you want on the shochu. So then you turn the non-alcoholic beer into alcohol.
Well, part of the
You
reason
should try it. It gets you messed up.
I believe me, I did it in Sapporo one time because it was like
I thought you said you never had hoppy.
I haven't had hoppy, but it was an all free like alcohol-free beer. It was called a tokuhai, which is like a special, like a whatever high is just like something mixed with shochu, which is like potato alcohol, and then tokuhai toku means like special or like a good value, and that I drank it.
Joey said, "Oh, never mind," because it doesn't have alcohol.
Yeah, it's lame. Kyle sucks.
Sorry,
Joey,
I'm gonna
I'm
be
drinking
careful
alcohol.
today. I'll pass out if I drink alcohol.
I'm not doing it because I want to be a responsible boy.
Cal's drinking though.
Takata Shochu Highball. 7%, super light, nice, lemony flavor.
But yeah, I drank it's funny because it comes out with literally like a glass the size of your glass there of shochu. That's it.
I was gonna say there's places that bring pitchers and tell you to stop.
Yeah, that place that we went to.
Tell them when to stop pouring shochu. And my
That's
father-in-law
such a bad idea.
gets glasses this big and just like doesn't tell them to stop. So it's just a glass full of shochu. And he says that a bottle this size of hoppy should last you at least 3 of the alcoholic refills.
Sure.
Oh my god.
And sometimes it lasts him like 5 because it's just shochu and then a little bit of hoppy.
I usually do like about half and half, or like 60% shochu, 40% hoppy maybe.
Yeah, there's a bar in Sapporo that they have that tokuhai thing I was just talking about, and it's like a little tiny glass, like maybe like a shot glass and a half or 2 shot glasses at the most, and the shochu's in there, and that's all the shochu you get. But it's really it's like Everclear, like strong, cheap stuff, and you get a bottle of alcohol-free beer, and you mix them and drink them. And I drank the whole thing, and I literally was like, I was just sitting there like dying. I was like just had a headache, and I was like nauseous. And my friend was like, Zach, just go let it out. And I went to the bathroom and I vomited all over. And
this was the legendary story of you at the guest house, right?
No, this is a different thing entirely. This is in Sapporo.
It just happens a lot.
Well, no, it was because it wasn't a thing where I was
Quincy.
like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. I was just like, God, I feel terrible. My friend's like, dude, you look really bad. Just go and get rid of it. You'll feel better, I promise. Because he refused to drink it. He was like, I'm not touching that. It's bad news.
It tends to not be the highest quality shochu.
Yeah, and so I went and I reversed the contents of my body into a receptacle.
Reverse the contents of my body.
Into a receptacle for things. And then I came back and I felt awesome. And I was great. But yeah, bad idea.
Oh,
Great radio
Ooh.
voices.
Joey says we have great radio voices.
Wow.
Cal and Zach need to be on the podcast more.
I want to.
Ooh.
How do you feel? Is your heart all aflutter?
You tell me. Should I button a little bit?
Doki doki.
That's the
Doki doki
patter
singer.
patter of Cal's beautiful boy heart.
Kimi ni munekyu.
I wish I knew that song. I don't.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I'm glad I caught on quick enough.
The promo video for this live, the background music, that's from that song. That
Oh,
she did from that
yeah.
Very cool.
Can we get some Yamachi Keisuke in later?
song. I'm not going to do tracks of the week on YouTube.
Oh,
I guess we can say this will be the track of the week and put it in later because YouTube will slap that shit down.
We did have a request earlier from Suki. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, what
Kyle.
was it?
Oh, Suki requested
Shina
for the
Ringo.
track of the week to be Shina Ringo. So let's just say
What song,
Tome
though?
Ningen.
Tome Ninga?
Tome Ningen.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
That
from
song-
Tokyo G in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
song.
Shino Ringo.
It is.
That song recently has been in a. It's like a. I don't. Nonio. Do you know that stuff?
I don't know anything.
Nonio. It's like a bad breath killer thing, but it's been on a commercial for that recently. It's for good breath.
Don't associate my favorite Tokyo Jihen song with bad breath.
I like Junjo Biori, I think it's called, from their first album. Like
Gunjo Biori.
Gunjo Biori, that's it. That song
Yeah.
rules. That organ, bro. That was when they had their. That was when they had the organist who
Yeah.
was like he was too
H-
full of himself to stick around, and they kicked him out and put a new guy in.
HZM, right?
Yeah,
The new guy's better though.
I like HZM's solo album a lot though.
It's good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very cool. We need to go to some concerts together, you guys. Some badass ones.
I just went to one. I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I saw my favorite Japanese band, Lamp,
Lamp, I saw
Lamp,
you
yeah.
post that on Twitter.
last
Yeah.
week. And
Tuesday, right?
no, it was Saturday. Last Saturday.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right then.
Lamp's growing. They have a pretty big. They sold out Ebisu Liquid Room, so that's.
Oh, that's
Damn.
a fairly big place. It's like
It's a big
2,000
venue.
people, right?
That's nuts.
And
That's
that
as big
was-
as if that's wow. All right.
That was
Biggest studio
even-
coast.
That was even with a lottery
Damn.
system. So there were people that wanted to go that
I
couldn't.
couldn't. Damn.
And they said so. They've been a band for 20 years, and they only started touring about 3 years ago. They were basically just a studio only band.
Oh,
20
sure.
years?
That when they first started making music together was 20 years ago.
So they're in like their 30s or 40s now.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, but now they're popular enough that they can survive off of their music, and they have more time, and they're gonna actually start touring. And they hired actually like professional support musicians, and they played with a full band. It was incredible. You could
Nice.
tell that they're a band that hasn't played so much together yet. They're not like super tight,
Sure, if you do the rest of the studio thing, yeah, that kind of is how it happens.
but I'm excited. They're actually going on tour. I think this is the first tour they've ever done, and they've been making music for 20 years.
I mean, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
very cool.
And I
I like
bought
that.
their album. I can maybe show it off since we have video.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I mean, look at it.
The whole time they were saying,
Oh, you and your LPs. You and your LPs.
Yeah.
do
I like cassettes actually.
let's do a
I've
little
gotten
bit.
really into, I've gotten really into cassettes lately.
I liked them when I lived in the U.S. because they were cheap.
Exactly.
But here in Japan, they're not really cheaper.
Yeah, but they're easy to
They're
transport
trendy.
when I moved to Tokyo in like a year and a half.
I love that you're into cassettes.
It's more just an issue of I can't transport LPs across the damn country.
Not as easily, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really trying to keep my luggage to a minimum.
When I moved to Japan, I gave like my 30, 40 records to my brother when he moved to Denver, and I super regret it.
Well,
So I want that shit back.
how are you gonna get that shit here?
I mean, like,
How do you transport records in an airplane? Jesus. I mean, you could put them in a suitcase and carry it on the plane.
we've bought a couple records in the U.S. before, and just like put it like between pieces of cardboard and then like shirts and stuff on top of that in the middle of the suitcase, and it's been fine.
Sure.
But I can't imagine just like shipping a stack
Check
of
that
that.
out.
clear.
vinyl.
Ooh.
Records are cool like that. Yeah. Like, I remember when I had some records. I really want to get records, but it's such a bad idea.
Kanojo no
Right.
Toke?
They were playing new songs from it,
Uh-huh.
and the whole time they were like, "We're not really sure if this album's good. We're sorry, it might be boring." And this is the release for this album that people
Hell
are
yeah.
there to buy.
That's cool, man.
It's so Japanese style, just like super humble. But the new songs sounded great.
Let's see.
I think they're just that type of personality to
Oh, it's a
play
nice
themselves
cover.
down.
A cat in a cone and a laundromat?
Yeah, cat in the shame cone.
This
Nice.
is why are records so cool. I love LPs. I'm gonna put it back in. Or do you
People
want to
s-
put it back in?
Support Lamp so that they can tour to other countries and stuff.
Would you like?
I'll just touch the middle. I got it.
But yeah, man, concerts in Japan are. Why is Japan such a cool country to be into music in?
But it's so expensive. That's the problem.
That's why I don't go any. That's why I don't go to any shows.
Like in the U.S., you can see nice up and coming bands for like $10 in major cities.
I mean, I watch a lot of really like the thing with this is all the stuff I go to are local, like tiny groups. Like I'm going to, I went to a concert. I don't want to say this. I've been to a few shows for local Nagoya groups and like groups that come like small Tokyo, like independent, like noise, experimental, avant-garde, like metal, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And those concerts are like 3,000 yen. They're not like 30
Yeah.
bucks.
That's not that bad.
But yeah, if you're gonna go see like big famous bands, It is really, because I saw At the Drive-In. I'm wearing my At the Drive-In shirt right now, actually.
It's like $90, right?
It was like $90 to see At the Drive-In at
Yeah.
Osaka Hatch, or Namba Hatch, and I was like, damn. I mean, I paid it, because when am I going to get the chance to see At the Drive-In? They get together after like 20
That's
years
insane.
on hiatus.
Basically, to see international bands like that, they have to be bands you really like because they're going to be expensive. Like
Seeing
at
this-
least $60.
The specials at Zepp Nagoya were like 7,000 yen. Yeah, that was like $70. It was really expensive. But they put on a really good show. I mean, like, you get what you pay for.
Chico and I went to go see Jens Lekman last year, and I think it was like 40 or $50,
Yeah.
which isn't horrible.
That's
I mean,
not bad.
It
It's
was like a
reasonable.
really, really tiny venue too.
Yeah.
So maybe we can talk about, because going to live shows, maybe some music buffs will come to Japan to go to lives.
Yeah.
And the process is a little different in Japan.
There's a horrible, frustrating monster called the Loppy machine at Lawson. And that thing sucks. Because it's you. So let's say you want to go to a show. And you're like, oh, the tickets are on Lawson, Loppy. Okay. And it's like, you think you just go and be like, hey, I want to buy this ticket. If you show it to the person working at the Lawson, at the convenience store, they'll be like, you have to go do it in the machine. And like, so you have to go over and like find where to put the code in. And it's always like a different service on that machine because there's a few different ones for tickets.
Like different OSs for the Loppies.
Yeah, and so you have to find the right thing and then put the number in, and then it prints out a little ticket that you then take to the register and pay for your ticket, and they print it and give you your actual ticket, which sucks.
Yeah. I never have actually had to deal with that machine because, again, I'm a baby and I make my wife do it. So I'm sorry you had to put up with that.
I know how to do it now. It's not a big deal, but it is just a thing where it's like, God, I got it. Okay.
Go talk to the machine and then go talk to the guy and he gives me my ticket.
Yeah, it's weird. So just be warned. If you go to a concert in Japan, that's even at like 7-Eleven is cool because you just say, hey, I want this, and you show them the code, and they go, okay, can I hold your phone for a second? Yeah, and you give them your phone, and they enter it in and print your ticket, and you're done. It's easy at 7-Eleven. If you have the option to get a ticket at a convenience store in Japan, don't go to Lawson, basically.
From my experience, like, it's been way more fun going to see like festivals instead.
Oh,
We haven't gone for the past couple of years, but I think like the first 2 or 3 years I was here, we went to go see a festival called like the Hostess Weekender in Shinkiba.
And that's actually at a decently sized venue, right? Like not
Shinkiba
super
Coast
big.
is the
It's
bomb.
Yeah, it's like 2,000 or so, I think.
There's a concert there today, a big festival, and they use like the big indoor stage and like the stage out there on the side and the tent stage and the pool stage. They have like 4 or 5 different stages, 5 different stages there. Yeah.
I've always been to the inside one, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you pay like a little less than $100, and it's like 3 days.
Yep.
And we saw Belle and Sebastian there, Mogwai, Churches, St. Vincent was there. Those are the bands I don't care about.
For like $100, you said?
You have like 3 days? I think that's about what it was.
To see that many bands, that's about the best deal you can find.
Yeah, and that's cool because Studio Coast is also an indoor venue, which is great because there's so many festivals that have awesome lineups and are not terribly expensive, but they're outside in the middle of August. And it's
I really want to go to Fuji Rock, but that's in
I
Niigata,
want to go to
right?
Fuji Rock too, actually.
Bob Dylan's going to be there this year.
We should. When is it again?
August?
Actually, I think the Summer Sonic lineup is better this year than Fuji Rock. Fuji Rock's lineup last year was amazing.
Dude.
They had like
I
Queens
need
of
to
the Stone
see these
Age,
lineups. I haven't
Aphex
looked at the
Twin,
lineups.
Summer
but
Sonic.
Bjork.
Bjork.
The Summer Sonic lineup.
I think
pretty
what we want to see is probably very, very different.
Good. Yeah, maybe.
We're probably. I don't.
But it's like Skrillex and shit at Fuji Rock.
I think.
I mean, there's Bob Dylan. That's cool.
I want to see Bob Dylan with Cal.
Yeah.
That's a rite of passage. Seeing Bob Dylan with.
It's more just a like.
Fuji
Him
Rock
and I
lineup.
being friends in high school, seeing nerds. Suck on Action's cool.
Suck on Action is sweet.
Yeah, they're good.
Elephant Kashimashi. Slow down a second.
Mac DeMarco's gonna be there.
Ooh, My Hair Is Bad is a band that's popular with high school girls.
Kendrick
Kendrick
Lamar, I don't
Skrillex,
care
know.
about.
Fishbone's gonna be there. Holy shit.
MGMT's gonna be there.
Maximum the Hormone. Should I pop some more of the
Let's
Man
see.
thing or whatever.
If you're gonna read the
Bob
bands, you might as
Dylan.
well actually read them.
Vampire Weekend, Churches don't give a shit about. Dirty Projectors don't give a shit about. Jack Johnson don't give a shit about.
See, great lineup. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Don't care. Don't
The
care.
thing about it is
Such Most is cool.
the
Never
thing
heard of
about it is these kind of festivals.
Summer Sonic.
The majority of the bands you have no idea who they are. It's just like you'll have like a few groups that you like. From my okay, maybe not you, but my personal approach is okay. If there's 3, 4, 5 big like groups that I really want to see, I can go and I go to see those groups, and then the time between, I can go and like get some drinks or food, or if I like, there's a stage I walk by and I hear something that sounds cool. Like it's a good way to find new music. Because if you go to I going to idol festivals where it's like I know most of the groups, it is a nightmare to try and put together your schedule of how am I gonna go around between all these stages and see everything I want to, and go to like good sales and buy like CDs or whatever if I want to get them from the band, especially if it's a group that has like where the members are at their good sales and you can like say hi to them or whatever.
I'm gonna say this: I don't really like big festivals. From the last couple I went to. Because the best case scenario is there's a lot of bands. Well, I don't know if it's best case scenario, but if there's a lot of bands you want to see, you're always missing some band.
Yep.
Like when I went to Pitchfork, it was like, I'm watching Kurt Weill, but I also want to see Ariel Pink, so I guess I'll just see half of each.
And it rained too, right?
Yeah, and it rained. So then like the 2 bands I really wanted to see, I could only see half of them, and even that half got cut. And you're dealing with all these like drunk people, and it's like dirty and hot. I'd rather pay the price I paid for the whole festival to see the one band I like the best in a smaller venue.
Yeah.
But I guess I can see your point. If you're going to a festival and you don't really know most of the acts, then you won't care if you're missing some of them. You just exploring.
Because my approach when I go to it, if I'm really serious about seeing a group, I probably would make a point to not see them at a festival, honestly. But if it's a thing where it's like, oh, there's 3 or 4 groups that I'm pretty into, and I can go and see those groups, and if I don't see any other groups, that's fine. I can just like go to a place where there's not a lot of people and sit and drink and chill, and then when the next group comes up, I'll go and I'll go see them. Like you gotta kind of, my way is I kind of want to take it easy at festivals, because I've done festivals where I'm running around constantly and it's exhausting and not fun.
Can you put it on?
Oh shoot, yeah.
So yeah,
festivals.
I think
I went to Loud Park in Japan.
Ooh.
Oh, the metal one?
An indoor metal festival.
You got an awesome outfit.
Fun.
Indoor festivals are always cool. Like
I have that vest somewhere. But yeah, you can just hang out by the bar. That was fun. And then the 2 stages, you can see both of them. So I would just hang out there, watch the band set up. But the band I really wanted to see only came to Japan for that festival. And so they could only play like a 20-minute set, and their songs are like 10 minutes each.
Yeah.
So they played like 2.5 songs, and then they had to stop and be like, they're telling us we have to leave. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And then they just go home. It's like fly all the way here
for 25 minutes.
For 25 minutes. They probably got paid really well, but
Yeah, but even so,
they must have, right?
Yeah.
So can I just interject here with a thing? I really, really, really am sad that I didn't get to see Andrew WK at Vans Warped Tour Japan 2018.
But the rest of the lineup was so wacky.
I do not care about
Was it just
any
like
of those other
Slipknot
groups,
and
but I
Korn
would
shit?
have, if I had the
Korn,
money.
Limp Bizkit. I guess
Dude.
it could have been fun to see Limp Bizkit.
I think
and
like
Korn.
if we went as like a big group, it'd be fun. I think going alone probably really sad.
Yeah.
But I would go see Andrew WK by myself. If I had the money, I would have gone.
NWK for sure.
I would have gone and just seen Andrew WK and left.
Yeah.
But man, I hope
For
he's
like $90.
worth it. 100% worth it. It would be a life-changing experience. I did almost go see Korn with my friend, my Japanese friend. He loves Korn.
Hell yeah.
And he saw them at Zep Nagoya. He tried to get me a ticket. He was like, because he thinks I'm into that kind of stuff. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I like metal and like noise, experimental, and like kind of.
He's like, oh, Korn.
He's like, oh yeah, you're. Well, yeah.
My favorite new metal rap.
They fit all those categories.
He knows I'm into like doom metal and stuff like that, and that stuff like, in terms of like the really grungy like low tone like bass kind of stuff, that is.
I guess there's some crossover.
Yeah, very minimal crossover. And he's like, oh, Korn, we can go see Korn together. And I was like, I didn't say this to him, but I was like, I don't like Korn. Korn's kind of dumb. But I have the opportunity to go see Korn
I would see
in
them.
Japan.
Yeah, why not?
And if he could have got me a ticket, I would have gone.
As long
but
as
he
they
couldn't.
play Twist.
Of course they play Twist. It's funny though, because
Twist.
the Family Values tour, he has the DVD for that, and we watch it in his car, and man, that is some really, really cool stuff.
I'm glad you like it.
I'm glad you like it.
It's great because he's talking really seriously about how they're so incredible, and I'm just like, oh god, I hated this for years.
There is something. I mean, you can hate like Slipknot or Korn how much you want, but I feel like if there's a fan that you respect,
Read it a little bit, Cal.
if there's a fan that you respect, and like you're friends with, hearing them talk about it can be a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, and I did take the opportunity to like listen, because it's like Stone Sour and stuff too. He's really into, and those groups, if you can take the image that was drilled into my head in high school of all those like kids wearing.
Stone Sour is actually pretty good.
Yeah, like they're actually musically talented,
Yeah.
and they actually make like music that's interesting and not just boring like standard rock. Like it actually is musically interesting. The problem is just that like.
Stinky Juggalos.
Yeah, man, it's.
A kid in high school tried really hard to get me into Stone Sour, and I fought against it so hard, and then I finally sat down and listened to it with him, and I was like, it's pretty good.
It's good. Like it's
but
good.
I haven't listened to them since, but
It's good music, and that's kind of where it is. I wouldn't listen to it on my own time, but it's good music.
there's a lot
I
like
don't
that.
dislike it by
Do you
any
remember?
means.
I think he was into. He was really into like a Korn and Slipknot, but from our high school, there was like a really big fat senior when I was a freshman that had like really ratty like dyed pink hair. His name might have been, and like he would take like a stapler and kind of like make it like he'd like
Open it up.
he'd like open the stapler up, take his arm and go wham,
Oh,
wham,
yeah.
wham, wham, like staple his arm a whole bunch of times and like
I remember kids
pull
doing
those
that.
staples out and like he wouldn't bleed at all.
It doesn't hurt. I've done it before just because I didn't do it to show off like him, but a kid who was showing off was doing it. And I was like, there's no way that doesn't hurt. And he was like, try it. And for some reason I did. And I was like, oh, huh.
All right.
Doesn't hurt.
I'll be damned. It doesn't hurt. And you just pull it out and it doesn't really bleed.
Do you guys want a bunch of Slipknot and Korn like a little pins?
Yes.
I'll give them to my friend.
Because Chica's got a whole bunch.
She likes Slipknot and Korn.
When she was in high school.
Hell yeah, Chica.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys want to segue into something a little more Japan related?
Yeah.
We've been talking about new metal for like an hour.
I mean, we haven't really talked about music here other than festivals and how it's bad to buy tickets at Lafayette Lawson.
Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about going to shows before
Yeah.
that begins. Whoops.
Yay.
We have all day though, so
Yeah.
something I found interesting. Basically, every show you have to have drink money.
Oh, like the 500
Yeah.
yen and you get
Yeah.
one drink. It's just
So
to
it-
pay for the bar, right?
It might be confusing for people who have never gone to a show. You pay for your ticket, and then you go to the counter, and they ask for 500 yen. I went with a guy once who had never gone to a show in Japan, and he was like, what the fuck? I already paid for my ticket. And like kind of made a deal out of it.
Yeah.
If you don't know it's a thing, then they don't really explain it to you that clearly. It might be on the ticket, but if you don't take the time to read your ticket, you'll be like, oh, yeah.
And, well, and that's a guarantee in Japan. I've never been to a show that does not have
Neither have I.
a separate drink ticket you
Like
have to pay for.
the biggest places, the smallest places, everywhere.
There's always
Well,
a
that's
thing.
how they make their money. Because that's the thing is I have a friend who he's into idol stuff too, but he also is actually in a band, like plays drums. He goes to a lot of rock shows and stuff. And he said like he drinks a lot, and he says like he considers himself to be a pretty good customer in terms of like at concerts because he spends a lot of money on drinks, which is good for the venue. And that's the thing is him being somebody
Yeah.
who goes and plays at shows and knows people who runs venues. That's a huge source of revenue. So in terms of like giving money to the people doing what you're going to enjoy, drinks are a really good way to like keep a venue funded.
That's true.
I know. I know. I
But
just
you don't
can't
do
do
it.
it. I can't do
You
it.
have that Okozukai life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm down to Nima M right now.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're saving up for something?
No, that's just how much I'm getting.
Ooh.
Do you want to talk about Okozukai a little bit? We never really had much of a chat about it
I
on
guess
the
we
podcast,
didn't.
have we?
I mean, like, you're not on it, right?
We're gonna start.
Ooh.
But like,
Like we'll both have a budget.
mhm.
Mine will
So-
probably be more like Yonmanen.
So, can I?
Okay.
You guys are the ones who have the experiences with it, so I'll let you say your personal experiences, but I guess I'll explain what it is.
Okay, sure, go for it.
So basically, when you get married in Japan, or you marry a person who is a Japanese lady, typically it's pretty
Or man. Or man.
or a man. I've never heard about it being the other way around, but I'm sure it exists
happens.
somewhere. But they're basically typical situation is the wife is in charge of the budget and the money, and she will say, "Okay, husband, you get this amount of money to spend on
Usually
things you
it's
want to."
Samayam.
There you go.
Like $300.
And that's for what time period?
1 month.
1 month. There you go.
And that tends to be like if you want to go out to eat, even together, you're paying from that. If you want to buy socks, shoes, underwear, that's train fee, that's drinks, it's everything.
Yeah.
Lunch at work.
Lunch at work, I always like do like a lunch box.
How can you do that for $200 a month?
That's a lot.
I've afforded myself a lot more wiggle room I think just not being Japanese and be
Oh, yeah.
this is bullshit. I'm not buying my own socks with this shit.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Like I'm not buying my own shoes with this.
It's basically allowance for adults because otherwise, the feeling I think is Japanese men would just spend it all on like booze and pachinko and stuff.
I will
So
say.
if you cut a hard line, then
Yes, I
you
mean
kinda
like
nip it in the bud.
I feel like if I was said like if I was told like I trust you with the money, spend however much you want to, just don't go over. I trust you. I'd be a lot more willing to be like frugal. But when I'm just given like $300, it's like I don't respect the $300 at all. I'm gonna blow through it.
I will say from the Japanese dudes I know who are not married and who were running around with me and my idol friends and who did get married, they got their shit together real quick. And I will say that those dudes blow through money like you would not believe. So I think it makes a lot of sense that, and maybe it's just married life gets people in order, but I'm serious. Like they'll go and like, well, that's $500 gone today on
Yeah.
pachinko. So it's like
That's insane.
That I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. But when you said, Kyle, that like if you don't do that, they'll just spend all their money on stuff. I think they probably would if they don't have a specific like set amount of money that they can spend. They'll just blow through all of it on money on gambling and booze and stuff because that's
Well,
just kind of
What I don't understand, how long has it been like $300 roughly? Because my landlord Yamada-san said like, oh yeah, that's normal. But was that normal when he was my age? Because
Like in the 70s or 80s or
that
something?
$300 would be like $1,000.
Like in the 70s
Yeah.
or 80s, the economy was way different.
yeah.
That was boom time.
Yeah.
What's the word for the 80s boom in Japan?
The bubble?
Bubble. What in Japan?
Babaru.
In Japanese? I don't know.
I think they just
Babaru?
call it babaru.
I don't know.
Bubba did you die?
But everybody was just rolling in money from all the like electronics and car industry and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. But
And I think that's still kind of the image that Japan is enjoying as being. It's still a prosperous country for sure.
sure.
But
yeah.
that boom time, I think a lot of people, when you think about Japan around the world, you think of a lot of rich people, bright lights, like cool fashion. But now it's like, it seems like there's not, the money's not as crazy as I expected it
No,
to
it's
be in
not.
Tokyo. It's not like New
And-
York where there are people who have hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like extreme wealth is pretty rare in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And just like entry-level jobs too, like when our friend Paul was trying to move here, I remember him talking to me specifically like, this is bullshit compared to Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salaries are pretty low. Like my wife works at a technology company. I won't say it just because I don't know if she wants me to.
Yeah.
It's a big company, and they're actively seeking foreign employees
That's pretty rare, I think.
and trying to keep a competitive salary. But even that, like experienced software engineers, the jobs are starting in the like $40,000 or $50,000 range, where they could go work in Silicon Valley, and it's like you're gonna make more than 90 grand at any place you start there.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of extravagance going on in Silicon Valley right now. Anyway, to
It's
be
kind
honest.
of it's in its bubbaloo period.
Babaru.
Babu.
Babulu. Babulu.
Babulu.
But
Babu.
Babulu.
Babulu. But
Now we're making baby noises. Babu.
Babu.
Babulu.
Babu. That's some Japanese baby noises for you, everybody.
Babu.
Okozukai. You've been doing it the whole time you were married, right?
Yeah, since I guess like midway through 2015, so almost 3 years.
And it is true. You out of all, by more than any of the others, like I really want to go, guys, but I don't have the money. Like I remember that is you say that more than like
Yeah, 'cause
most people I know.
There's no wiggle room, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you
Yeah.
spend that Okozukai, what happens?
If it's gone.
You can't eat lunch.
Um,
You have to get a loan from Okozukai.
I've never even thought about asking Chico for a loan. I'll give you an extra 100 this month, but it's going down by 100 the next month.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got like an English thing on Fridays that I do that gives me an extra 100 every month.
Oh.
Bumps me up to 4. But still, I mean, it's just like it's everything. I mean, I haven't bought.
Have you run out before?
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah, what do you eat for lunch? Where do you get your
I mean-
socks?
I don't wear socks that month.
You buy a new pair every time you wear them, right? That's what I did.
I
Of
throw my
course,
socks away.
I'm not some dirty gaijin.
I knew a kid in high school who actually did that. Yeah. his parents bought him new socks. I don't know if every time, but he would wear them very few times and then throw them away because his parents were like really well off and super neat freaks. So it's like, your socks are getting dirty, throw them away.
Like, I'll close the guy. Like, I get the purpose of it. Like, I think it makes sense to a certain degree, but like, I think coming from like a Japanese perspective of like what your life becomes once you get married versus like what we've grown up around. Because I mean, like, my life, like my day-to-day life is very, very different than like any of our contemporaries in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I go out to eat once or twice a month. Everything
can't
else is
say
made
that.
at home.
I can't say anything.
I think Yuki and I have been talking about this because we're both, like, you have somebody, your partner is responsible and budget-minded, and Yuki and I are both just, like, the wild types who, like to drink and like to go out, and then we keep running out of money at the end of the month, and it's like, something's wrong here. Like,
Yep.
we should be able to save more money than this.
Yeah, but I think part of that just, like, built-in expectation of mine, like, I don't even think about all the time, is just, like, the fact that I'm not going out and doing things kind of, like, unconsciously makes me want to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, in a situation where, like, on a Saturday I'm going out to listen to a podcast that I usually listen to every Saturday, and I'll be like, okay, I can sprinkle a little bit of money here, and, like, I'll just buy, like, loads of, like, really, really tiny, stupid things that build up to a shit ton of money.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of how it is for me. The problem is that I travel so much because there's not much to do in Nagoya that I enjoy. And so when I travel, I was like, it's cool. I'll go to Tokyo, and I know that it's like 12,000 yen, like $105 to get to and from by local trains. So there's that budgeted. And then I'll just, like, go and hang out with friends, and this concert on this day is like 3,000 yen. And then, you know, I'll go drink with friends, which will be like 4,000 yen. So I should be able to get through the weekend with like 20,000 yen, like a couple $100. But then it's like I go to conveni and I buy a beer, and then it's like I'm out eating, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get some ramen, and then I'll like pop into a store, and I'm like, oh, this record I really want, like this CD,
Why
and
does
I'll buy it.
splurging feel so good? I don't get it. Like, just wasting
wish
money
it
on
didn't.
shit like that.
But, like, even, like, I avoid convenience like the fucking plague. Like, I'll always go to, like, the main liquor store where I live, or go to a grocery store, because it's
You're
like
so smart, Cal.
I mean,
go to
like,
the convenience so much.
because like your 500 yen, like your 500 milliliter beer at a konbini is like 50, 60 yen more expensive.
Easily.
And that shit adds up. Like, I'm in a bad habit of thinking that amount of money, what's the difference? But it makes all the difference.
It really does.
I went in a period, like, when I first moved here, of like going to bars like I usually would in the U.S., and bars in Japan are just horrendous.
Even if the
Money-wise.
beer's cheap, like that place we walked by earlier today, where beer's 180 yen, I always end up leaving spending more than I thought I
You
would.
get gouged in so many different areas.
Because you buy food, and you get, like, when you get sick of beer, you buy something else. And
there's a table charge, and then,
like,
you come for the cheap beer, but you end up getting a lemon sour because you're all loosened up, and then it's like 400 yen.
There's the table charge, plus like everybody has to get like 2 things of food.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So then I went from going to bars to thinking that konbinis were cheap.
And that still wasn't cheap.
Then realizing konbinis weren't cheap.
Yeah.
And
What's
now I'm
the
at
next level?
the grocery stores, and then it's just like staying at home.
Yeah.
But then eventually you just won't go anywhere. But you're a father now, so you can just hang out with your kid.
Yeah.
That's free.
Now he's just kind of like
Holy
a little...
shit, guys. The best things in life really are free.
Babies are not free.
That's really true.
So I guess babies aren't one of the best things in life.
Well, there's that out the damn
Figured
window.
it out.
Throw that in the garbage. Woo.
Thanks for learning that for us, Cal.
Yeah. But
one Japan-related thing I wanted to bring up.
can I say one thing
Yes.
first? Because, goddamn, how did I forget just now? I'm awful. Wow, I completely forgot. Never
Okay.
mind.
Think about it while Cal talks about it.
Yeah, holy
It happens.
Jesus.
How often do you guys wash your towels?
Oh, that's a question.
I remembered.
We wash our towels once a week. Let's leave it on that stinger and go back to Zach and go back to towels.
Because that's the thing,
We're
too.
Shyamalaning this shit.
What you were saying about how it's like, oh, well, it's not that much, and I'll just, like, I'll do this, and eventually becomes a thing. It's like literally, I just have to sit at home. If I'm going to not like run out of money, I just have to stay home and do nothing. And it was funny because like, no, I'll just hang out in Nagoya. Like I'll go to Tokyo once this month, and hang out with Kyle and people, or I'll go to Osaka once because Osaka it's only 3,500 yen to get to and from by local trains. It's cheap, so I'll save money and blah blah blah. But it ends up where like no matter what you do, if you leave the house, you just blast through money somehow.
It's so easy to like convince yourself into justifying those small like momentary purchases.
Yeah. And I have people that I borrowed money from that I owe to, and I'm like, I'm gonna pay them back this month. I'll pay them back, and I'll go to Tokyo for a little bit. And literally like in June, I have just decided I am going nowhere. Like I'm going to take an entire month-long pay period and do literally nothing because I got
Monster Hunter.
I sold Monster Hunter. I don't like it.
Monster Hunter World?
I tried to like it, but it's
not your thing.
The thing about it is the game itself is fun, but it's only fun if you're playing it with people.
Yeah.
And my friends are all just like it came out 2 days ago. I'm level 60. I'm just like, Jesus, I've almost gotten up the gumption to play through the tutorial. So it's like, if I had people who played at the same pace as me, or who I could get like the same times to do stuff together with, it would be cool. But that doesn't happen, and so I sold it.
I think before I forget, when you're talking about traveling places and how you easily spend money, I think that part of that is decision fatigue. Like you have a limited amount of willpower when you're making decisions, and when you're traveling, you're already tired from moving around. Even if you're having fun, it's a lot of physical exertion.
Yeah.
And then it makes you more susceptible to have those impulse buys where it's just like you've run out of the willpower to make good decisions. You don't have the energy. I mean, you still could, but it makes it way more difficult.
Which is like one more step.
That's why you should just hang out by the river like we do. Bring your drinks from the grocery store.
Yeah. There's also the issue of you're already drinking and you're out. On top of you being tired from getting around, you also
don't
are drunk.
Even think about it
and
at
you're
all.
just like, well, I'll just have another one of these really tasty things in a can from a convenience store. And all of a sudden,
And obviously not drinking's not an option.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding? But, yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Nothing.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no, I made a decision yesterday that today I would have
We're going to be good kids.
That I would have
one. Give me your cup.
What? No. I'm not thirsty. Thank you, though.
I think he wanted to give you a cheers.
I was going to do a cheers.
Oh,
what
all right.
fucking planet are you from?
I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, I made a decision that I would have one of the 500 milliliter cans of the Okinawa pineapple thing that I drank when we got together a bit ago, and I'm going to drink tonight at the after party. And that's it.
I don't want any of your backwash. Get that away from me. Like, I'm trying to
it was very, because I hit it with my hand, and you still held it there. I was like, okay, clearly and then it's like, give me your cup. I was like, oh, you want to pour some in this? Thank you, but I'm not thirsty.
Yesterday when we were setting up, we were both super tired because it was like midnight, and Zach just got here, and I was like, Zach, turn off your microphone. And he had this microphone in his face, like more in his face than it is now. And he was on his phone like, what do you mean?
I was online with...
How do I turn off my microphone?
But I was calling you online to make sure we could get Alec
we were
in for the morning
like,
thing. And I thought you meant like turn the mic off like on my line phone call. And I was like, how turn the mic off? What's the point of that?
But I kept saying not on your phone, like the actual mic. And you were just like...
But I was...
It's the travel fatigue.
I'd been on trains.
Travel fatigue.
I was on trains for 7 hours. I'm gonna be fatigued.
You couldn't even decide how to turn off a mic.
Well, I guess I'll just go home.
Now we've been.
Kyle, give me your cup.
We've been recording for an hour and 15 minutes, so it's time to.
Kyle, give me your cup.
I don't want to drink your fucking backwash.
Oh, sorry.
Back to let's finish on towels.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Good job, Zach.
Once a week.
Once a week.
We're about once a week too.
But we have multiple towels. Sometimes if it gets humid, especially in the summer, we'll swap out the fresh towel.
But you got like a space to hang them outside, right?
Not. I mean, we have the balcony.
Yeah.
Balcony.
Do you hang your when you take a shower in the morning, dry off? Do you hang the towel outside?
No, I don't do that. I probably should. That's smart.
You hang it inside?
Yeah, I just rest it on the washing machine, like with the lid open. Just drape it over that.
I have a lot of friends who come and stay with me. Like I'll have like 5-6 people over. Not anymore. It used to be a lot more before, but every now and then it happens. And I'll have people over, and we'll all go to an onsen together, like a public bath or a hot spring together. And I have towel because we used to go to a place in Mie for 200 yen, you get a towel set, and it was a body towel and like a face towel, so you could wash your body off, and like you could wash your body with a small towel and then dry off with the big one.
Cover your junk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they kept going, and everyone would forget to bring towels, and they kept buying more sets. So I have like 8 or 10 big towels and like 30 small like bath towels. I'm not kidding. And so when my friends come over and I have them all stay here, it ends up where I literally have like, God, 15 towels all of a sudden all at once end up like needing washed. And so when I wash towels, just depends on when people come over, and I end up with too many of them. The problem is that living alone and like traveling on the weekend, like I'll go through a like 4 t-shirts and like 2 pairs of shorts and like all kinds of stuff. And I get back and I'm having to constantly wash clothes because I have to hang them outside and stuff. So it's like towel washing, I should really do it like once a week, but it ends up being like once every couple weeks. The thing is too, I'll hang my towels inside my shower, which is good because there's a good airflow through my shower, my bath area. So if I hang a towel in there, it ends up dry within like a half a day. And then I'll throw it in the laundry basket to be washed later. That way it's not like in there wet and getting moldy and gross.
Yeah.
So once every 2 weeks or so, probably, for me.
The reason I asked was
Yes.
because when Chica and I first moved in together, she wanted to wash the towels every day after one use.
Wow. That's pretty hardcore.
And from what I've heard from her, that tends to be the norm in Japan.
What's she going off of there? Maybe it's the norm for her family.
I guess
but
maybe just her family. Because, like...
how often do you talk about... I guess we're talking about it now, but how
Like-
often do you talk to people just out of the blue? Hey, how often do you wash your towels? Is it every day?
Well, like, we were... I'm like, let's move back to Japan. So...
Yeah, no, I'm not. I like the towel topic, but I'm wondering
I came
where
up with
she's
that.
getting that information.
I guess it might just be her family. Like, I haven't really heard any... I haven't asked anybody else.
Yeah, it's
But-
not something that I normally just be like, hey, just a quick question while we're having our beers here together.
Some guy at the bar... How often do you wash your towels?
That's a greeting.
Actually, the
But-
Japanese government does a census every 4 years of how often you wash your towels.
What's funny is that's not a stretch. They ask just insane things.
Because they might be
Imagine that.
figuring out how to cut down on water usage, and it's like,
That
do you
actually
wash
makes
your towels
sense,
too much?
Oh, yeah. But
It probably is real.
her family at like what do you call it? Jikka. What do you call that?
Yeah, her
Where her parents live.
yes.
Where her
Jikka.
parents live. It's her brother, his wife, their 2 kids, and her mom. Towel gets used once it's washed.
Well, that's because
Wow.
there's 6 or however many people, and so that's enough. That's a full load of laundry in one day.
washing 5, 6 towels?
Bring it into the mic, Cal. I want to hear that confusion.
Can you imagine washing like 6, 7 towels every day on top of like underwear, socks, and clothes?
Okay,
I
I'm-
hate doing laundry once a week.
So, I will.
Not every day.
We'll
I like doing
transition into a comment here that jazzy people wash a lot of clothes. It's like, but I will say, at my house in the U.S. with my parents, they wash clothes every single day, but they separate it by colors. Japanese people don't do that.
No, they don't.
like
we
you have,
do.
like, really?
I mean, white and colors.
my family does like
As it should be.
white. My family does like whites and nice.
That was too easy.
That
Not
was-
true.
Don't agree with that.
It was just there. Low-hanging fruit.
Bad person. This one, not good.
You should wash your laundry all together, whites and colors.
Yep.
All together.
But my parents do.
That'll be like the Seinfeld cookie.
But my parents do whites,
The black
colors,
and white cookie.
and darks like all separate. And so, I feel like my mom is just constantly doing laundry. But again, they have a washing machine, a drying machine. I will say, coming to Japan and hang drying my clothes, dryers destroy clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hang drying my clothes.
Oh my god, because I had a T-shirt I bought in Japan, and I was like, and I got a stain on it or something, and I was like, all right, I'll take it to the U.S. because I was literally leaving like the next day, and I wore that shirt before I came, and I was like, and I'll wash it, and I remember washing it, and it was a
The
white.
big poo stain.
I took it. What else are you gonna use to wipe your booty hole with? Come on. But I got to the U.S. and I was like, hey mom, this shirt got stained, and it was a white shirt with a black design, and I washed it and I dried it, and it came on the machine, and the black design had little white like fluffies all over it from the thing, and I was like, oh, wipe it off, and they didn't come off. Shirt ruined. I never wore it again because it just looks ratty.
Even when we go back to the U.S. now, like when we do laundry, like the 1 or 2 times we're there,
Yep.
we always hang dry. And my family's like, "What are you doing? Why are you hang drying that stuff?"
I hang dry T-shirts, only T-shirts, because like pants and stuff, it's whatever. But like t-shirts, I feel like it's like the Walmart Looney Tunes ratty, like wash rag shirt moms.
All right, guys. We're talking about laundry. I think it's time to end this episode.
Yeah.
Take a little break. Thanks for watching.
Love
Thank you for listening. I'm gonna shout out to some of our Sploder friends like I do every episode. This week, Dan in Japan, has been very active on our Twitter. He's a great guy. He's been tagging us in those tweets, retweeting, commenting. So thank you, Dan in Japan. Look him up on YouTube. Check him out on Twitter. He's on Instagram. He's on the internet. He's doing good stuff. That's all this
That's
episode.
it.
He's the only person I like right now.
Nobody else.
Everybody else can fuck off.
Oh, stinky.
Other than our dear friend Clint Breeze, of course.
Ooh.
Who Alec thanks every episode. He did our intro music. He did a great job.
Thank you.
Go to clintbreeze.bandcamp.com to hear more sexual, sensual, exciting, and stimulating tracks from that handsome young boy.
Very stimulating.
We feel stimulated every time we hear it.
I hear it a lot, and I get very stimulated a lot.
Zach, were you going to say something? Do you want to say Alec's thing? This is a big...
First, I will say, I was on episode 2 a long time ago, but I did not have a Twitter account at that point that I could tell people about.
Oh, yeah, plug your shit.
So
Fuck. Of course I got to thank these two assholes.
Yeah, I now have Twitter. So if people want to follow me, I talk about my travels in Japan and things I see and eat and observe, and lots of pictures of kanpais with all that alcohol.
Lots of alcohol, lots of food.
Yeah.
You got a fun Twitter.
I try to.
You tweet a lot. I can't get in the habit of tweeting as much as you.
I really just, anytime I think of something or see something that I think is cool, I tweet about it. So if you want to know what it's like to be a person in Japan who goes to a lot of idol concerts and eats a lot of food and drinks a lot of drinks and travels on a lot of local trains, look at my Twitter. It's at Gaijin Wota. It's GAIJINWOTA. Zach.
People listening or watching this probably can spell gaijin.
I know that, but I just said it
quickly,
anyway.
What about wota? What? That's an idol thing, right?
Yeah, so otaku, people probably know that word. It's like the Japanese word for nerd, but it's OTAKU is how people, I think, spell it usually. But in the idol thing, it's common to spell it with a wo character, the WO character.
Oh,
otaku.
I didn't even know that.
And then a lot of people take the ku off of it and shorten it down to ota. And I remember 10 years ago, when I first got into idols, I was like, oh, that's what the word for like an idol nerd is. And it actually isn't. It's a little more commonly used. But
dude,
I think that's what I'll always think of it as.
Yeah, but I just did that because it was a Twitter like name that wasn't taken. I might change at some point, but for the time being, for the very least, when this episode is up, I'm under that name, Gaijin Wota.
At Gaijin Wota. That's a good handle.
I hope so.
Solid branding.
Thank you. So everybody,
You need to start your own podcast. Joey, you still out there? He was right.
Thank you.
You need to get out there on the internet.
Thank
more.
you. Thank you. But but yeah. Hey guy.
Fucking thank you.
Thank you. But yeah. So just go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you want to. I would be very excited. Please reply to me and talk about how you love Japan or don't. That's fine too. I don't care.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff on Tweelos.
Cal, what do you got to plug?
Nice Steps Japan. It is at current only on Instagram, but it's just loads of pictures of nice steps from all around the Kanagawa, Tokyo, and sometimes other areas.
Yeah. Really nice steps.
With
Nice
contributions from Tokyo Splosion as well.
Yeah.
And if Zach wants to
Dude, I could
contribute anything,
I got a fancy camera. I could take
tag
some
the
pictures.
shit out of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That has been an episode of Tokyo Splosion. We're going to take a little break. My wife Yuki's coming in.
She's gonna say hello or not. Nope, she is
Closing the
hiding-
door.
She's hiding behind the door. She's done. Not doing it.
Zach, do you know Alex?
I don't know
Goodbye.
I don't know anything.
I'll let Cal say it then, because
See
he
you later,
actually listens.
buttholes.
Yeah, say it.
See you later, buttholes.
All right, that's an episode in the can.
Oh, very good.
I guess we can stop streaming, take like a 15-minute break, and hop back in. Have you heard from Sam?
Yeah, he said he'd be here in about 25 minutes.
Oh, dang.
25 minutes from now, or from
He
when
said he would
sent
be
it?
arrive around 1:10. And it's 12:45 now.
It's like, yeah.
All right, so when we come back, we're gonna end the main stream, and it's gonna be like last time when the stream's on the phone. It's a different event. So you have to go into our YouTube and look for another live event
Whoever-
to see us.
Whoever the one person is watching us is, you should
Yeah.
retweet me because I'm posting like when we change streams and stuff on
Yeah.
Twitter, so people know what the heck is going on.
I should be doing that.
I might try and do a stairs post sometime the next couple hours.
Okay.
Do it, man. All right.
So,
I'm gonna
so
go do
we'll,
wee-wee.
we'll switch to the other stream when we start up again in 15 or so minutes.
Yeah, we'll see
Or maybe
y'all
when
in a bit.
Sam gets here, we'll start
Yeah,
half
when
an
we
hour
go
or so.
pick up Sam.
Give us a half an hour.
Bye, everybody.
Love you. Yuki.